The Vijayanagar Empire was established by Harihara I, who reigned from 1336 to 56, and his brother, who reigned from 1356 to 77. It was the latter who laid out the foundations of the city and gave it its name, which means City of Victory. The city is vast at 33 square miles. In its heyday, it sustained a population of 500,000 people and had enormous wealth acquired by controlling the spice trade to the south and the cotton trade to the southeast. It had a large foreign army consisting mostly of Turks. The city has a number of distinct zones, of which the Royal Centre and the Sacred Centre are the most important. Hampi Bazaar is the entrance to the Sacred Centre and leads to the Virupaksha Temple. This temple predates the establishment of the city and was built between the 13th and the 17th century. It has a wishing stone near its entrance. This is the wishing stone. Although the 50-metre high Gopura at the entrance to the temple is a recent addition, the richly decorated columns date from the 16th century. The most beautiful carvings in this temple are to be found in the marriage pillar hall. Here there are fantastic animals known as yalis, which have leonine heads and rearing paws. Behind the marriage pillar hall is a small temple still in use. Elephants played an important part in the Vijayanagar Empire and were used for both religious and royal purposes. This one is 16 years old and is still used for religious duties. From the Virupaksha temple, I walked east along the 1-kilometre colonnaded street. At the end of this street is a huge sculpture of Nandi, now sadly defaced. Just beyond the shrine dedicated to Nandi is a shrine dedicated to Hanuman. This one is still in use. This temple was built on the orders of Tiruvengalanatha. He was a prominent military commander of Achiyuta Raya. The temple dates from the 16th century. Although most of the temple is ruined, there still remain some very good bas-reliefs. Some of these are erotic. From this temple, I walked down the colonnaded chariot street towards the river. The Tungabhadra River is crowded with pilgrims and many religious shrines. I was to visit some of them myself, travelling by local boat, a coracle. Our first stop was to visit this image of Lakshmi carved in the boulders by the river. Clambering between the rocks was actually rather tricky, but it was well worth it. So many of them were covered in delicate images. Amongst the boulders on the opposite side of the river were these sculptures of Nandi. A man was worshipping at this reclining Vishnu when I arrived. Lingam worship is current in Hampi even today. Although the coracle trip had been very interesting, it ended not a moment too soon. By the time I headed for the Vitala temple, the boat was leaking very badly. The Vitala temple is a World Heritage Site. Amongst its most famous structures is the stone chariot carrying Garuda. Reputedly, its wheels were once capable of turning. Scholars do not agree when this temple was built. Some date it at the late 15th century, others to the early 16th century. In any event, there are present some inscriptions from Krishna Devaraja, who reigned from 1509 to 29. Although Vijayanagar was a Hindu empire, frequently at war with the Bahmani Sultanate to the north, it was in fact a very cosmopolitan place. Not only did it employ many Muslims from India, it also attracted many such immigrants from the Middle East and Central Asia. Indeed, Devaraja II, who reigned from 1424 to 46, had a copy of the Quran and referred to himself as the Sultan amongst Hindu kings. Prominent amongst the richly decorated columns of this temple are those depicting musicians playing shells.